Could 5 kings force a prophet to his knees? Or was it one man's faith more powerful than 5 empires? On one side were crowns, on the other side were trust, on the other side were armies, on the other side were promises, and the keepers of those promises.
Hazrat Joshua, Ayaset.
After Hazrat Moses, Ayaset, the leadership had come into his hands, but every new responsibility brings with it new enemies. Meanwhile, the people of Gibeon chose peace instead of war. They made a treaty with Joshua, but not everyone was happy with the peace. This news reached Adonai-Zedek, king of Jerusalem. He was afraid, because he knew that if Gibeon sided with Joshua, the balance of power would change. Then he made a decision, not alone, but in unity. He brought 4 other kings with him, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. 5 kings, 5 armies, 5 thrones, and only one goal: to destroy Gibeon. But Gibeon was not silent. They immediately sent a message. "Don't leave us alone. Help us." This was a decisive moment. Joshua could have waited. He could have remained silent. But faithful men do not forget their promises. So he set out with his brave companions. The journey continued in the darkness of night. It was tiring. It was hard work. But there was no fear in their hearts, because sometimes the greatest strength is faith. Then morning dawned, and the enemies were surprised. They did not expect such a rapid advance. The battle began. Dust began to fly, swords began to clash, and the battlefield was filled with noise. But on that day, not only were humans moving, fate had also moved. The armies of the 5 kings began to retreat, the ranks began to scatter, and fear began to descend into their hearts. Those who considered themselves invincible yesterday, today were looking for ways to escape. But Hazrat Joshua al-Assad knew that the war was not over yet, because incomplete victory never brings complete peace. The enemies were fleeing, time was passing quickly, and the sun was about to set. But at that moment, an event was about to happen, which people would remember with amazement even after centuries. A prayer, a belief, and a miracle that surprised even time. Because the next scene was not just a war, it was a scene of a day when the whole earth was going to witness an extraordinary event. And that day will always be remembered in history. That day when the sun stopped, and the world saw that sometimes even 5 kings are defeated. But the promise of Allah Almighty does not fail. Can even time ever stop? Or was it just a prayer of a prophet who silenced even the sky? That day will always be remembered in history. That day when the sun stopped and the world saw that sometimes even 5 kings are defeated, but the promise of Allah Almighty does not fail. Can time ever stop? Or was it just the prayer of a prophet who silenced the sky? That day was not an ordinary day. That day was that moment in history that shook the laws of nature. On one side, there was the defeat of 5 kings. There were scattered armies and fleeing armies. On the other side, the army of Hazrat Yusuf as-Salam was tired but full of faith. The battle was on, but time was running out fast. The sun was sinking towards the west, and the enemy wanted for night to come, because night always saves the weak. But Hazrat Yusuf as-Salam knew that this moment was decisive. This was the moment where justice could not remain incomplete. And then he turned to his Lord. Silent prayer, deep faith, and a heart lifted to the sky. Suddenly, time stopped breathing. The sun, which goes on every day, stopped that day. The day grew longer. The darkness did not return. and the battlefield was bathed in a strange light. The enemies were surprised. They did not understand why this day was not ending. But the truth was that this day was not going to end, because the truth was not yet complete. The battle intensified again. Now neither exhaustion prevailed, nor the darkness of the night. There was only one thing left: decision. And then, the 5 kings were defeated one by one. Those who considered themselves the masters of time today were helpless in the face of time. Those who called themselves invincible today had fallen to the ground. But the real miracle was not the war. The real miracle was that time stopped in obedience. It was not just a war, it was an announcement
That when the truth stands, then the universe stands with it. Centuries have passed, but that day is still alive today. Because that day was not just about the sun stopping. That day, it was the day when man's faith prevailed over the universe. And maybe that's why, when life puts us in impossible situations, then we remember this incident, that sometimes a prayer can even stop time.